Okay, so I pulled this together quite quickly, as with everything that we do.
Yeah.
On our printer that's run out of ink. So
Passion pink.
yeah, passion pink. That's what we should have just went for. But I thought what would be good here is to focus on, or to talk about really, the difference between quality and quantity. I think we've kind of mentioned this before,
Yeah.
but obviously in a world and an age where content is just like getting thrown out left, right and centre, is volume good? Are we in a world where we think like still having a strategy around like less is more kind of thing and all that? Like what, just to kind of have a little bit of an open discussion about it. Obviously from when we started back in the dark ages, when was that?
2018, 2017.
Yeah. The phrase kind of content is king has been coined, like thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Do you think that's still the pinnacle today?
Well, on content.
On content, yeah. Obviously now that we're in a market that we do multiple service and web and paid and SEO and all that kind of stuff, but is content still the pinnacle?
I think so. I think like it's just always that thing, isn't it? Of like, doesn't matter what you do, you've just got to make people. Why should anyone give a fuck? Do you know what I mean? And like, I think when you said before about like quantity versus quality, I feel like we've always lent on the side of quality, or we at least tried to. Like we've always tried to make, like, we've never said how many of these subpar videos can we make. We've always said how many of the best videos can we make. That doesn't mean we've got there all the time. That's been the intention.
Yeah, I think sometimes I can be guilty of thinking, oh, maybe our quality's not there. Do you know what I mean? But I do think that's just down to the volume that we're putting out that I'm not seeing it. I had a conversation last week with Julia when she was in filming, and I asked for some clips and she was like, oh yeah, but to be fair though, like the quality won't match yours, will it? Like, you know, and now she might have just been talking about like actual camera quality, but I took that as like, I've come here to use you for a certain quality.
Yeah.
Like,
well, I think it's I mean, let's go completely left field to what you're saying, but like, I think it's, people come to us for the quality, but the experience. Like, I do think, and I said this to someone the other day, like, a lot of, what business do you know now that's really revolutionary? That like, is, you're not changing the shape of the wheel. Do you know what I mean? It's just who you want to spend your time with and who you want to give your money to.
That's it.
And I think that's across the board for everything.
You're off, Jack. Yeah.
Bye, Jack.
Bye, Jack. I don't think your podcast actually saw the light of day last time, did it? I fell asleep through halfway through it. He said something, he just went, and you look just like you're dead there. It's just like, I was pretty tired that day, to be fair.
Bye, Jack.
Yeah. Funnily enough, I was watching Dragon's Den last night, and it's mad to see the amount of like really good businesses that are out there. And Stephen Bartlett's on it now, obviously, but he's like talking, going, yeah, but what's your marketing? Like, what are you doing? And this one lad was like, he was making hundreds of thousands of pounds in turnover, and he was like, yeah, we've got one kind of ad running, it's got a few comments on it and stuff. Like, he just didn't have a clue. And I was like, wow, imagine if he like actually ran or not to go too left field, like talking about ads and all that kind of stuff, but he didn't put value on the content.
Yeah, well, just actually like flipping that question back to yourself then, because I've seen Gary Vee mention this before. What would, if you know, because I think what we're really bad at for ourselves, and it is always that thing of like, you do it for everyone else and forget to do, you just look after yourself, and we're going to make an effort to change that. But with the hires and stuff we're bringing in, but we haven't got a proper strategy for passion, which is quite annoying. And we've both identified that, and you know, no one's kind of perfect, whatever. But if I said to you now, you've got two strategies here, and goes back to quality over quantity, because I watched this with Gary Vee a while ago and it always stuck with me. Strategy A was like, you're not going to post the best videos, but it's going to be every day. You're going to be in someone's face. So it's like the power of presence. Yeah. Or strategy B, where it was like, okay, you're going to get 2 posts a week, Monday, Friday, but they are going to be like, wow, they're really good. At least like around that level. What would you go with?
It'd be the second one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Why?
think so. I just think like it's more, it'd be more memorable. Do you know what I mean? And I think that's where I can be guilty sometimes of going like, oh, it's not enough. We need more going out. But realistically, we don't. We need better. Because
Yeah, definitely.
you're just joining a pool full of noise, essentially. Do you know what I mean? Like, and we know we've got content for clients that can go out every single day if we have to, but we just think, what's the point? Because it becomes white noise.
It comes back to like, and which we do all the time, which is like, what, trying not to mention probably too much here, but it's processes, isn't it? Of like how you, because at the end of the day, you can't say to a client, oh, I know we didn't hit the quota of the videos that you're paying for, but we were going for quality.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So it's that balance of like, you need to get like your base layer of concepts, and then it's up to the team to make them better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, that's right, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
it's putting the value. Obviously, we don't have to go like into like pricing and stuff like we did last time, but I think just what I was getting at, like, is kind of we've had no strategy per se, but you could argue that the strategy is that we've had no strategy. We've just kind of let it run. I was watching some stuff before from other kind of filmmakers and stuff, and I was like, you know, we could do that, definitely. Like, we could easily do that, and there's not. It's just having the time to do it. But
Yeah.
thinking back to when, like, obviously we've gone from the garage. We were talking last week, weren't we, about like, obviously whoever's watching this has probably come to a meeting. Some people probably have come to a meeting in that garage where they've gone up the stairs. It's been absolutely Baltic cold.
To put that into context, it's family members' MOT garage, and it's like, so you've got to literally go past like revving cars and stuff like that.
You hear people screaming and shouting left, right, and centre. But
through their reception, up like kind of like round the back of like stairs and stuff like that, into which was just like a spare room.
Yeah, which we just like joined on another room too. Like, probably not regulated or safe, but
no.
But the point being is, when we put it out there, people would be like, "Oh, it's boss in here!" Like, and people would come to us just because of what we were doing.
Yeah.
So we didn't really think about that. Then we'll build this and we'll film these little bits and we'll target these days and all that. We were just like, right, make something good. Is that ready? Yeah, let's get that out.
I think it comes to that thing of like, when you're young, when like you're a young company, you're doing things to just build momentum. So you can't really have a strategy because you don't know where the momentum's going to start building.
Yeah.
And then as you get experience, you start thinking, okay, well, rather than like shotgun firing at these 5 things and trying to build momentum on these 5 things, let me look back. Well, what is it that's working? Is there a pattern? Oh, it's this. Okay, so maybe I can actually save my energy not doing the other things that aren't working and put it back into the stuff that is. And hopefully that just kicks on even more.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of...
But it's the action of doing it, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think, which is a big thing. I think like one of my points here, which I've made on me fading paper, is about like overthinking.
Be a sick album name, that. Fading Paper.
Fading paper. Well,
go on, get
me on my logic there on my laptop. Yeah, so one of the things I was thinking about was like brands overthinking the content, which therefore then blocks you actually taking any action. And we kind of made a video about it the other week where I was trying to make a coffee and in my jacket and my shorts, because didn't realise I was filming that day, but saying about like how kind of when you wait too long, it can be your biggest blocker. You've just got to do the thing sometimes, and then I think the key thing is doing things, but making sure that you're still reflecting on it all the time.
Yeah, like how frustrating is it? Like, how many brands have we worked with where they come to us, and regardless, like, it's very rare someone says to us, I'm going to give you money to make us content. I want it to be as good as possible. I don't care about the sales. I don't care if it doesn't grow my followers, my audience. I'm just doing it because I like doing it. It's very rare that there's always something we're pitted against.
Yeah.
And what happens is we go, okay, here's the concept, and we start building it, and they go, yeah, but you can't do that because rules and regulations say, like, I'm just taking an example here, if we're doing food or something, or you've got to be cutting on a green board. Yeah. Oh no, he's used the bracelet on, we can't have that in. Oh no, this is and I get it to a point, but you almost, and maybe this is something that we have to figure out, of going, okay, you need to set your goalposts, and anything in between is fine, because whilst you're thinking about, is someone going to pick up on the fact that my chopping board's green instead of yellow? people are putting ads out, really, really fucking
Yeah.
good ones, left,
Yeah.
right, and centre.
Yeah, like literally beating you to it. Like,
And I think there's every business that and I admire it in a way because it's the passion is about it, and I like the fact that they give a fuck enough to pull you on that. And again, maybe it's an us problem. Maybe we need to do a better vetting process in terms of pre-production to find out what can we do, what can't we do, and stuff.
yeah.
But it just comes to that thing of like back to momentum again, and you kind of going, okay, I can do this, we can reshoot that, we can do that. But whilst we're doing that, which takes time, your competition is posting
Sneaking
that
up
stuff.
behind you a little bit, yeah. Yeah, I think that's quite interesting about the goalpost thing, because how many times have we done it where we filmed it and you go, oh no, and you're like, well, you should have told us this beforehand, like we've wasted like so much time now,
Yeah.
like, or you've given us the wrong information or whatever it may be. We've been like quite lucky in that we've never really had to worry about that kind of thing, particularly in our industry, I don't think,
Yeah.
which is mad considering like it's all visual and it's all representative of you. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I feel like that's quite a nice thing that we don't have to worry about like wearing bracelets and stuff, and maybe that's because we haven't got the right context about things, you know what I mean? And we think, well, that's a bit of an overreaction or whatever, but it's not, obviously, because if you're in that world, you know, like the serious like repercussions of it, you know what I mean?
But that's it. I think it's that thing in it of like depends. It's context of the world that you're in.
Yeah.
Because what an SD card is to someone in any of the other industries we film probably means nothing. Do you know what I mean? And making sure the process to back something up. It's just like, why are you so strict over that? But if you're in our world, you're like, no, that's got to be done. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
So,
well, we get onto that in a minute. Like, one of the questions I was going to ask on this content thing is like, what do you think the biggest misconception around high quality content is? Because I remember a few years back, I had a conversation with someone. They were like, no one really wants like high quality now. They want all like the UGC stuff, and it's all like like Instagram favors the organic, like on your phone stuff and all that. And I was like, sound, that's not going to last very long, because when everyone can do it, it doesn't stand out.
yeah.
And then I'm starting to see the resurgence now of like high quality stuff for like independent small businesses, which I think is great.
Definitely. I think like with it, I don't think it was the phone, or the filming on the phone. I think it was just people were more willing to be authentic.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because everyone knows, well, if this camera's pointing at me, I am going to be like that until I'm comfortable enough to just sit how I sit and talk how I talk.
Yeah.
It's more likely on your phone that you are, because it's more accessible, that you're just going to be your natural self. And I think that's where people gravitated towards. But now, like, how many years have been, like, if you was to walk in town now and you're seeing someone walking past you and they were talking to a camera, you might go, oh, he's talking to a camera, but you wouldn't like snap your neck. Do you know what I mean? Versus like when we started, like how much of oh my god, is he filming it? Do you know what I mean?
Camera,
like, so I just think it's like,
remember how awkward it was.
tremendous, yeah. But it's that thing, isn't it? Of like, you've got to. I don't think it's what you're filming on. I think it's just how quickly you can become authentic with it.
Yeah. What do you think the importance is about being authentic with a business? Like, do you think there is like major like?
Well, it goes back to what I was saying before. No one's reinventing the wheel with what they're doing. I think it's just like, what was the last business you used where you were like, that is such a smart, how has no one ever thought about this? When you think about like from buying clothes, getting your hair cut, food, car cleaned, whatever it is, it's not nothing that's been done before. It's not nothing that's not been done before.
It's just refined.
So it's just, who do you want to spend your money with? And I think that is why being authentic is important, because our clients, making it like, speaking about us, is like, we've got that good rapport with them, and they know they could go and get it cheaper somewhere else. And could they get it better? I would like to think not, but you know, it depends on your preference. What I think's good, people don't.
But this is the thing, it's like, it's obviously we can go off on like major tangents here, but could they probably go and pay and get a better experience on the day, like one-off?
No,
like,
definitely not.
Do you know what I mean? Or they might be able to go and get someone who can I don't know, do a special edit on something or whatever, but will that person be able to go and understand the business like we can, or
No.
go and get to know the owners and get to know the people, build up a rapport like a long term thing? Do you know what I mean? Probably not.
No, probably not.
That's the thing that people don't really see.
Yeah, and I think it's like, even as you just said that, then if I was to explain this to someone, I'd be like, there's like a chart. You've got like quality here and like quantity here, and where you value is probably like, I think passion has got like a really good sweet spot. If we can give you high quality stuff, but when I say quantity, I'm talking like as well as like video numbers, I'm also talking about the experience, knowing your business and stuff.
Yeah.
Because we can turn up probably with a week's notice to our clients if we had to, and go, right, okay, we know the business inside out. So when they're saying we need to film this testimonial or we need this client or whatever it is, we've got the context, we can do it in a week's notice and it be one of the best quality videos that you can get. Versus, I think if you were to go any higher on quality, you would pay for it. But there is no, is there any chance, I can't do this shoot date now, can we move it?
Yeah.
Because they built pre-production around that.
Yeah,
and everything.
Also, like on the day as well, it's shut down on the day probably. Whereas we come in and we work around everyone else. Like, I'm thinking of like testimonials for Cam. I can't remember the last time Cam sat in a testimonial that I filmed. He just goes, "Can you just do a bit with them?" Goes and does his own thing, which is massive responsibility if you think about it, because
he trusts you.
He trusts me to make sure that they're saying the best about his business, and I've done it that many times, and you haven't. But like, I know what Cam likes, what does well for him. And these videos get hundreds and hundreds of thousands of views.
Yeah, it's
you wouldn't get that like from, or like certain things like I come in and go, right, we need to film this, but I won't use them because I know that they don't really understand that what they're saying there. They don't really like being on camera.
Yeah.
Or they're doing this at the minute. Like, so there's so much more, and it goes back to that thing where people go, you should just be a part. Like, you should just have a desk here or your own room. Yeah, sounds.
And
like,
to be honest, that's like one of like you take that as like a compliment for us, you know what I mean? We've always said, I think someone said it once and we like kind of ran with it, but they were like, oh, you're like an extension of our business. And we were like, that's really good that you think that, because like we put this much effort in for you to think that. So I was glad that you recognise it, I suppose. But yeah, makes sense.
But no, I think on the high quality content thing coming back, I'm all for. Like, I genuinely, like, whether it does numbers or whatever, I think now it's about standing out again.
Definitely. I don't really like the vanity metrics that much.
Of like so many views, so many this.
Because it's just, again, it's where you put the value on.
Yeah.
So like we've just been saying about that graph there, if you had a really, really sick video in whatever that means to you, and it had 12 likes, but you were selling a product for $1,000 and all 12 people of those bought, well, then you're pretty happy with that.
Yeah.
Opposed to you could have 1.3 million views, but no one buys from it. Then is that good to you? Is it not? I suppose that is one of the things of finding out like what you want as a client, what you want as a brand to be like. Oh, I wanna build my audience out.
Yeah.
The right audience or whatever that it is, but I think that's where the content sits.
We've definitely spoke about this before as well, but like we've never had a video for us that we've put out with me and you on that's gone viral. And you think like, oh well, what kind of good marketing? What good would that be to us at this stage? We've never had that, but we've still got a growing team year on year with turnover and profit and everything going up. If we did have a viral video now, would we be able to sustain what's coming in? Like, probably not. No. So that would be the stupid thing to do, because then you'd lose all that straight away. Do you know what I mean? Yeah.
It's mad. I know this is going on left field, but do you ever feel like whether you're sat in the sauna and you're picking up conversations or just wherever, you pick up a conversation of like someone else who's like on the beginning of like their business journey, and you're just a bit like,
ooh, don't do it.
Good luck, lad.
Because
I think like, but it's only the same as like we've been. Do you know what I mean? And you've got to go into it like proper naive, don't you? To just think, yeah, I'll just one viral video and stuff, and then again, you have this growing kind of, the growth year on year. You start thinking about pipelines, inbound, outbound.
Overtrading otherwise, it's all connected.
all of that, and then you're like, hell, I'd be gutted. Like, and knowing us, it would be like going viral, and one of us would be looking like an absolute idiot. It'd be like the fucking.
Oh yeah, definitely. That's my biggest fear day to day. Just like falling over in here and it being on camera or something, and then that's what you go viral for. Yeah. Not all the graft that you put in for years, like when you actually try to do things, but just something happening, and you just think, yeah, it sounds like just go with it.
It'd be a killer if you fell over in the background of someone else's video.
Oh, the worst. Yeah.
And you went, and they were like, "Oh my god, that's Ben from Passion."
Yeah, the worst. Yeah, love it. But it's one of those things where if it happens, it happens. So,
it's in God's hands.
We've kind of skipped a section here, but I'll come back to that in a minute. What do you think, like, is there a balance between being transparent and authentic and being a little bit cautious online with your content and stuff? And I'm going from, like, take this broader in terms of, like, a scripted video to a completely non-scripted video to us sitting here now having a conversation about business and that. How transparent can you be? Is it important not to be? Is that just something that you have to gauge yourself? Is there a lines across?
Yeah, but I think it just depends on how you are as a person and a brand.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? I feel like so we've had conversations, and like our business advisor has pulled up before. You've been like, "Oh, you swear quite a lot in your videos. You know, maybe just tone that down." And I was a bit like, "Oh," and it makes you aware of things. But then I was like, "But I swear."
Yeah.
And I don't want to just be on here being like, fuck. Do you know what I mean? But like, I'm not going to make a scripted video, which obviously if I was to write a scripted video, it wouldn't have swearing in. But then I'm just reading something, and I'm not an actor. So then it's just me just reading.
That's the argument in it, because they probably go, "Oh, you kind of not attracting the right clients there." Clients might be deterred from working with you if you're swearing all over your socials. It's like, well, so we want to work with them.
So let's, like, if we talk about Gary Neville, right? Like that, you understand, because we worked with him 2 years ago, and you understand why he's earning fucking big money with Sky, because he literally was like, "Okay, what's the concept I'm talking about? Right, okay, and are you ready?" And we were like, "Yeah, do you need a bit more time?" And he was like, "No, I'm good to go, you rolling."
Switched on, like,
and just fucking one take wonder. And we were like, "Oh my God, yeah." We'd budgeted it. They were like, "You've got like 20 minutes with Gary Neville because he's a busy man." And I think we were like 4 minutes in, and we were like, "Yeah, we've got it." And then he was like, "No, let's do it one more time. Let's just do that one more time because I can do that better."
Yeah.
And he was literally reading just lines that he was acting, essentially. He was doing it, obviously, but he can do it where it's authentic.
Yeah.
And it's like,
everything he was saying was right, but he just puts that thing on where he's like, the PR side of things just comes into play, which is fine.
No, yeah, that's great. And that's why he works for Sky, and he can do all these things. But equally, it's knowing your lane. Like, how many business owners are able to do that? In this pool that we work in, not a lot. They've either got to really, really give a fuck, and we've got to use that authentic version of them to convey that.
Well, we've seen some other celebrities that we won't name on here where they've been the other way. They've been all smile, and then gone away and gone, and you've actually seen them like deflate. You're like all putting their fronts on for like the public and all that. Yeah. Filming them, and it's on camera, and you walk, and they go behind the actual thing, and they just go like, as if to say like, that was the worst experience in my life. And you just think, how can you like switch it on and off that good, that quick?
It's mad, isn't it? And that's like that. Yeah, it is mad. Just like a random thing that just sparked in my mind there. It's probably nothing to do with anything you wrote down, but like,
cheers.
It does make you you think about all the experiences that we've had
in life,
just fucking carrying these cameras around.
Yeah,
and some like saying meeting Gary Neville, and I don't mean as in like meeting Gary Neville as like a public figure. Just seeing someone who's fucking really good at the craft, just be able to go, right, you ready, bang.
Yeah,
even the other people that again we won't mention, who are like, yeah, smiley, to go behind the curtain and go, oh my fucking God, I can't stand. Do you know what I mean? Like,
start kicking off and everything. Like,
yeah, think what you think, whatever you want to think about them. but it's still like, that takes some fucking skill to just go, bang, switch it
Yeah.
on. Like, mad. It is mad, that, isn't it?
Yeah, that's what showbiz for you, baby, innit? Do you know what I mean? You got to do it. But
Jazz hands and that.
which brand or creator do you think balances honesty and quality right now? I think I've got one in mind, but if you go on, you go first. What's the girl's name? Go on, you say it.
You should have a conversation with yourself.
Go on, yeah, sorry, yeah, so just
Two.
what's the name? That's it. Go ahead.
Obviously, the hype that we've been on at the minute, Daniel Dalen,
Brilliance. Yeah.
really good. If you're a business owner, I think he's really good at being proper authentic. He literally says in his videos, in which all of his staff must watch, right, today I'm making a decision of who I'm hiring, who I'm firing, and he's like, we are a sports team, we're not a family, and he preaches all this stuff where I'm like, yeah, like it makes sense. And I think that just from watching him, I've been influenced to just be more honest about things. If someone's doing a shit job, I will tell them that they're doing a shit job.
Fair, but honest, I think.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And going back to that transparency line, I wouldn't sit here and slag off one of my staff members. It just wouldn't happen. Do you know what I mean? But
I would.
you fucking make sure you're all watching that. I value them all too much to do that. Do you know what I mean? And they wouldn't be here otherwise. But I'd sit here and be like, yeah, we've had some difficult conversations this week or whatever, and we've think because it's in the benefit of the business.
Yeah.
That's absolutely fine, I think. But that Daniel Dalen, yeah, brilliant. Like, love watching it. You struggling there? Like, oh my God.
An ounce of water would help you tremendously.
I was thinking we forced to put some water down. Oh, nah, we
Go on.
I had some yesterday.
Yeah, go on, Sam. I've got them.
I was thinking, I think her name's the girl from Odd News, Amy Small, is it? The girl who went viral, putting the struggles on.
I
like-
don't know what's her name, but yeah.
Yeah, on TikTok, she was putting the videos, what she was struggling with day to day. Like, this has been really overwhelming. I was like, yeah. And she's probably doing 20 times what we're doing. Do you know what I mean? And I was like, that's really good. Like, you can't get more honest than that. Do you know what I mean?
I don't feel comfortable when, I don't feel comfortable when I work with our own clients and they pretend like everything's fine all the time.
Yeah.
Because you know it's not. Every business owner, we all share the same thing of like, whatever it is, from staffing to processes to cash flow to this to that. Like, there's so many fucking things. And I'm like, don't sit across from me and be like, yeah, everything's all sound. And I think we used to do that as well. I genuinely think we used to be a bit like, yeah, everything's sound, because a lot of the times we're on a shoot. So we've got to create the fucking buzz and stuff like that. So you can't go in and be like, oh, I'm so fucking sad.
It's really hard.
But I do think, like, when we spend more time with clients and just being like, oh yeah, like, well, last week was fucking, or a few weeks ago was shit. Like, people were off sick and we had meetings to attend and we didn't know about like how to like tackle the meetings and those type of things. So I think that's where it again goes back to being authentic, but knowing the line with it all. Because we've had some clients that are going, yeah, put the price on there, tell them exactly what
it's gotta be like.
But you have some clients that are say, no, I don't want the price on there. I want people to, you know, I want it to be
quiet, and then why? Like, what? Well, everyone's got their own model, I suppose. But there's actually a question here, which is how do we convince clients that perfect doesn't perform well? And I think it all just comes back to that beginning bit that we were saying, like, well, perfect is everyone's trying to be perfect. You've got to stand out now, and by standing out, we go like, well, we don't always know what we're doing, and we're moving, and we're growing and stuff.
What is fucking perfect though? Do you know what I mean? Again, like, you look at like Casey Neistat, right here, baby. You look at like Casey Neistat, and like, you know, if you didn't buy the hype of him, and you just watched it as like a video, you like fucking scruffy ass handwriting, and the camera's constantly shaking, and the audio's if you watched it from like a take storytelling out of it and just looked at shots, it's not great.
No,
but
sorry, Casey.
No, but like, little Reece Clark from Liverpool, just fucking. But his storytelling is fucking next to none. Do you know what I mean? So
I think he knows that as well.
But it's like, again, whilst some other content creators, us included, are striving for like that sick shot, he's like, yeah, got it, done, and done that for 800 days on the bounce without missing a fucking day, which is mental.
Yeah. Which he valued the quantity over the quality at that stage, but it worked for him.
Yeah.
I suppose that's it, isn't it? Whatever works for you at that moment.
As the answer to everything. It's just about finding the balance.
It's just about finding the balance. Inner balance, balances, bank balances. So, on the back of all that, the conversations that we're having,
Who are you
and what you do for a living, and how's the last year been? Evolving from videographers, kids with cameras, running around, kids with cameras, pointing cameras in, who are you, what you do, get that shot, you got that, yeah, got that. No, probably not. To business owners.
Yeah.
Hard graft, hard work. What's the hardest adjustment been so far?
Yeah.
I was going to say it's moving again for us now in
Yeah.
the light of the last couple of weeks and all that kind of stuff. We're trying to push that further again and again.
Yeah, I think it's just like the hardest adjustment for me personally is like I am a very impatient person, and I find it's really hard to adjust when I'm like I want everything done now, and
Yeah.
it's a fucking I have got shitloads of grey hairs, and it's probably because of that attitude. And I'm like, can you do this now? No, don't worry, I'll do it. Do you know what I mean? And it's that adjustment of like, yeah, but that's not, who is that progressing?
Benefiting.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing it at the best of my ability just because I want speed. The team aren't learning. So it's, I don't know what that is. Is it like giving back like more responsibility, or something? But I struggle with, I like to be a proactive person.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I think you run the risk of like being confusing, rushing things for efficiency.
Yeah.
Sometimes possible if you do that, do you know what I mean?
That's the way my mind works.
Yeah.
Like everything I do, and it's probably honestly like from like my granddad or something like that. Because like you know what he's like. He'll be like, if I go to the kitchen, he'd be like, "Don't be leaving empty-handed."
Yeah.
And everything I do, every time I'm like doing anything, I'm like, what is the most efficient way I can do that? But I probably blur the line sometimes and go to rushing it rather than be efficient.
And then you do it twice or whatever. But then again, it's all connected. That's goes back to the quality and quantity thing. Sometimes it's better to just do it and then you refine it again and again.
Yeah.
Remember Pillar X, like Swiss property investors, like, and on their website they've got the strategist and the doer. Because one just does something and gets it done, and the other one goes back and refines it and gets on. And it's like that works to some degree. Can't even remember what I was talking about. Was it? But where did it come on from that?
You were saying about like biggest adjustments.
Oh yeah, obviously like trying to take that time back to make sure that the team are getting the best out of you, and obviously depending on what it is like you want. We know now that like our time needs to be spent on getting the team as close to our level. Now that might be not might be with a camera, but it might be with experience, sales, whatever that may be. But we're not going to do that when we're behind a screen or behind the camera with headphones on, neglecting everything else that's going on because we need to get that edit out for that day, or we need to get that shot. And there's been conversations over the past like couple of months where I've put team members on shoots and the clients have come back and gone, "Oh, I need you to do it." And I've gone, "I can't." Like, no, like I can't. One, I really trust the team. I wouldn't do you a disservice if I didn't think they could do it. Do you know what I mean? That's what's the point in that?
Mm-hmm.
And two, like that's just not. I just can't do that across like 20 clients or whatever. Like, you know, I can't be on every single shoot all the time.
Yeah,
and it's given the team the trust on our end to say like, no, I trust you to go out and do a great job here that we've been doing for years. I'm kind of laying that out with the clients a little bit.
Yeah. I think as well. I mean, for me personally, getting satisfaction from different things as well. Like, I'm not. If a client says now, like, I'm not as asked about me doing a video and the client going, that's boss. I take a lot more enjoyment actually if Jack does a video or Dylan or Chloe, whoever does a video and the client goes, that's boss.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Even like little things about like, obviously we haven't that Jack and Dylan like leading in video now. Like they're learning how to manage people.
Yeah.
And it's like, it's mad because I'm talking to them like I wasn't in their position 2 years ago, getting it wrong, a year ago, getting it wrong, 6 months ago, getting it wrong. But it's nice to just be able to be progressing with all of that.
Yeah, definitely. Like again, it's that reflection point, isn't it? Being like, look how far you've come, look where you're going, look where you could be in a couple of years. Just for us and for the staff as well.
Just like, on the video thing about quality versus quantity that I forgot to mention before, but Marcus Brownlee, big YouTuber fella that I watch, he said something the other day, because I seen a video that I done about 3 months ago, and I must have been busy when I was doing it, and I was like, oh my God, like that's not a great video. Now, when I watched it back, I'm very critical of anything that I do anyway, but it wasn't, you wouldn't watch it and go, that's a bad video. It just weren't like a noteworthy video.
Oh, we'd done or he'd done?
No, that I'd done.
Oh, yeah.
But what he said was like, every time you watch a video back and you're like, a bit like embarrassed / like, oh, it's like, that means that there's been growth.
Yeah.
If you watch a video from a year or two ago and you're like, he was like, and obviously you can't do that because every now and then you just fucking
pull something out the bag. Yeah.
It's like, but if you're watching like your videos and you're not at all, that means you're not growing. Yeah. And like that's dead interesting though.
If you're the smartest fella in the room, you're in the wrong room. And I am the smartest fella in this room. No, I definitely, like, there was a video that come up on our memories the other day. I can't remember what the brand was called. One of the first ever like promo videos we done, which I remember we loved at the time. We were like, wow. We were like, that's really good. And then looked at the other day and was like, ugh. Like, do you know what I mean? But we were paid for that. Which I couldn't justify charging someone for that now.
But I think as well, like styles and trends and stuff at the time. Like I always think
it's before reels as well, would I think?
But like, do you know that trend in reel at the minute where it's like each employee spinning in the chair and it's like dun, 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 like that one. Could you imagine how like flat that would have landed if you would have posted that in 2018? Yeah. Everyone would just be like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's mad.
So it is like as much as like the quality is changing.
Trend. The only type of trend back then was a Twitter trend. What's trending on Twitter? Like there was not
Harlem shaking.
There was nothing trending. There was no trending audio. There was no reels trend. Like no viral videos or anything like that. Really.
No.
Apart from on YouTube. Like, but do you ever miss the simplicity of just doing those videos, coming in that cold garage every morning, up, heater on, making sure your hands haven't fallen off? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it was cold.
Yeah,
it was very cold.
But like just popping out and going to do a promo video, coming back, getting it done. Did you just go back? If someone offered you now?
No, but like there's elements of it where you just like I feel like it's like that, innit? Like the wins are few and far between. It's just like nothing was ever that bad, nothing was ever that good. But then as you grow, the wins start becoming or feeling like the bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
But then every time something bad happens, you feel like it can be the end of the world. And I think it's that thing of just remembering like, oh, it's never as good as you think and it's never as bad as you think.
Yeah.
And just being...
That's what you want though, innit? Like you don't want it to be really high and then really low. You want it to be a little bit more like that kind of...
But it's that thing that goes back to hiring people. Like you've got to trust, because now we're doing things that me and you can't do. We understand it and we understand why it's important to what we do, but we can't do that. So you have to trust these team members to do it and to trust that they understand the importance of what they bring in. And I know I do it all the time, but it is just like a fuzzy team. Like you bring in fucking players that you trust are gonna score or do whatever they're doing.
Yeah, and you obviously whatever. All right, then in that analogy, where are you playing at the minute?
Well, you're more of a James Milner role.
Like, kind of.
I think that honestly, I think that's where you should be as a business owner.
Just kind of like controlling the game. Just
Well,
like,
no, I actually think like a James Milner, like at the last few years of Liverpool, where he's sometimes left back, he's sometimes right back,
Yeah,
he's sometimes in the midfield. He's kind of, he's not going to start anymore. He's not going to be going out, obviously doing the shoots, because that'd be mad if James Milner did doing the shoots, wouldn't it?
he's just shooting like shots.
But he fills in where's needed. You know what you get. Like, sound a good job. You know what I mean?
I was going to say Van Dijk just stopping the goals coming in, just literally just like that.
Yeah, and I think that is actually a really good point of like, I feel like as a business owner, at times, you can feel like all your job now is firefighting.
Yeah.
Like, very rare does someone go, I mean, I don't mean like very rare, it sounds bad, like, but like, no one goes, oh, I've just done a good job today. And you go, oh, that's right, nice. Like, staff-wise.
Oh, yeah.
They only really go, this has happened.
As a business owner or the staff, you mean?
I'm saying, as a business owner, you don't really get to see the small wins anymore.
Oh, no.
That, build up to it. You just see, you only usually get like a... And I'm saying like you can fall into that trap of just feeling like you're just firefighting all the time.
Yeah, I think we're quite good at giving the team good feedback though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Making sure that we said that was a good video, that was a good way you handled that or whatever, or that wasn't, like, not being fair. But no, I get it. Like you do kind of feel like you can be firefighting sometimes, and you say like that's the whole point, to try and not firefight, but realistically you can't be like that.
Sorry to cut you off, but sometimes like I always think when we're doing one-to-ones or we're hiring someone, who would I want to work for?
Yeah.
Just like, what's the characteristics? What's their mindset? And
someone who's just, do
you know what I mean? Because I do think like there's an element. I mean, it could be way off, but like, well, no, I can't. Like, there's nothing that any of the people in that room could really question when it comes to like what we do for the business, what we provide, the lengths we go to, just to make sure everything's kind of fine.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? And I think like that is that's an important thing to keep sight of.
Yeah.
When you grow in your business as well.
Definitely. One of the questions I've got there is like, how do you still keep your creativity? Like looking at like the admin, the sheets and all that kind of stuff. And I think that's important now. That one thing we're doing is buying back our time to make sure that we're leading the team in the right way, trusting them with everything, but being like, let's start thinking about it this way now. So the conversation with Jack while he was having his dinner before about like a shoot, and he was like, I can't even remember what he said, but a shoot for Tasker Sports. He was like, how good would that be if like they picked up the shoe and ran away with it, like robbed the shoe off someone, put it on and ran away, and the fella couldn't catch him because he's in those shoes, like, and I was like, yeah, like that's a really good concept. It's how you plan, like, shoot and execute that now and deliver it kind of thing. And that's where I feel like we'll need to, like, because they're in the thick of it now. They're where we were 2 years ago, like literally fucking day after day after day after day, shooting everywhere.
But it's like the momentum that they build off it. And I think like it's the power of like one good video in it. Like I can't remember who was saying this to you the other day, but like it was Izzy on an interview. And I was like, I kind of used to put everything as I'm only as good as my last video. Yeah. Which proper give me like a kick up the arse when it comes to momentum.
Like, yeah, otherwise, what's the point if you're not as good as your last video? You know what I mean? That's when the alarm bells ring. But okay, some closing statements then. Go on. What advice would you give your younger self, back in that garage? You've just finished valeting a nice Peugeot downstairs, and
for context, I used to clean cars.
Yeah. Not a lot of people know I used to clean cars as well, but I didn't make as much money as you doing it. I think I give up a lot quicker than you did, to be honest.
Because it was the hardest thing I've ever had to do.
What happened was, I bought my dad's Hoover, the Henry, his pride and joy, his most prized possession in the world, and it blew up after about 2 days. And I was like, oh, God. Took it to an electrician, paid them a fortune to look at it, and he went, oh, no, it just shuts off, when it gets too hot, it'll come back on. But I looked at it and I've charged you for it. It's like, so all the money I'd made that week valeting cars, I'd spent on the Hoover. So never again. That was it for me. Yeah. What advice would you give yourself after you've come up there and you've just logged onto your computer and?
I mean, I think I said this last time, but just do your processes. Because obviously we went like that as a business and we never had to do processes like that. But then as we went up and the team it's like, there's going to be like, as of next week, 14 of us.
Something like that.
Like,
yeah. 2 new starters next week.
We've nearly got like, well, we've got a starting 11 and a bench.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So like, it would have been, I wish, the only thing is, I don't think the younger me would have listened.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because like, I'm sure this information was out there at the time. Just, it's one of those.
Fundamental, really, isn't it?
Yeah, like you're not ready to hear it until you're ready to hear it. But yeah, how many hours and hours do we spill from processes not being refined? And that's what we're doing now, and that's what we're trying to make up for and stuff. So it'd be that.
Yeah, that's a good one. That I think. I don't even know what I'd say to myself. You know,
who are you and what you do?
Yeah, who I am, what you do. Probably learn to use a camera. But
yeah.
No, I think probably don't overthink things. Like I do overthink a lot of things. And when I say overthink, I think of every possible scenario of what could happen, what could go well, what could go wrong.
Yeah.
And people say, "Oh, you're a pessimist," and I go, "I'm not a pessimist. I'm just preparing for when things
stressed.
Yeah, for when things fuck up, and I've got to protect your job or whatever. Like, do you know what I mean? But not overthinking things. But that would be my main one. Last question then. What do you think the next version of quality content will look like for us? What we're going to be doing?
I think it's going to look better quality content for us is going to look like better pre-production.
Mm-hmm.
So we get really good shots. Well, I know me and you do, as if I'm like slating the video team there. But I mean, like, we can, through the lessons we've learned over time, we can flick the camera on a little bit earlier than we know. It's like a fucking sixth sense, you know what I mean? You're just like, something's about to happen here, and you hit record, and you capture that moment. Because there was times in the past when we would have went, oh shit, I wish we just flicked that on a little bit earlier.
It's usually a first kiss at a wedding. Like, do you know what I mean? Like, oh, I wish someone was getting that, to be fair.
And I think what the next quality of content will look like is the fact that we will be getting that pre-production sorted. So we will go, right, we've got 2 shooters on this shoot. When X happens, Y needs to be in place.
Yeah.
Rather than turning up and going, oh, would have been good if we would have got that.
Mm-hmm.
But there's elements of that now that we're fully working towards. But we know content creators that they don't leave anything by chance. Everything is planned shot for shot for shot. Yeah, that doesn't mean people can't be authentic and relaxed in it. But you've got to kind of, you know, orchestrate the shoot.
Yeah, I think for like what I would like people to see from us as well, I'm talking like our content specifically, yeah, is like, I love all this raw stuff that we're putting out. Like, I haven't really filmed an awful lot. Like, I will get that other camera. Are you still using the FX3 now to film stuff?
Whatever's free.
I'll get the other one set up so I can actually start doing it. I love that raw stuff, capturing more of that in the office. Also,
bang a video every now and
then. Yeah, so like the next episode of Passion, but not that out. The episode is also almost like the client video.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's what I'd like to kind of see people and go like, that's a Passion video, but it's back in the standard.
Well, that is basically the strategy that like we're figuring out, and it is like the banger video is like the awareness piece of like, oh fucking hell, see not that, you made that sick, and they click and there's like a video series for them to follow to actually know and give a fuck about the brand. So like they make sick content and actually like the you know, a lot of the stuff that we do with clients, because it is so personal and stuff like that, we shouldn't really probably shy away from it. I know we're trying to make a conscious effort now to record all this raw stuff and that. And I feel like that would be the perfect balance. I feel like if you had like a really sick concept piece, then maybe like a client collab or testimonial or something.
Yeah.
Sandwiched in between like our kind of
raw
founder-led stuff.
Yeah.
Or it could just be team stuff as well.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I feel like that's a really good balance for people to like take note, see our client base, like what we actually do, and like the inner workings of it.
Sound.
There you go.
That's
son.
us there.
Just get to work then, innit?
Yeah. Check back in again in another couple of weeks. And watch out, we just haven't done any of this stuff because we've been that busy. But we'll see.
Sound.
Sound.